Hello friends, welcome to Insights ASEAN Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about India-ASEAN and India-East Asia Summit. Recently, these summits were attended by our Prime Minister. So now we are going to discuss about further details. Before we start the further details, first we will see the syllabus mapping. Regarding the syllabus mapping, this particular topic is related to General Studies Paper 2, where you will find bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements involving in India and affecting India's interest. So this particular video is related to this topic in syllabus. Now we will see the video components. In the video, we are going to discuss about why this is in news. First, then what is this ASEAN, and in this particular ASEAN summit, which was attended by our Honorable Prime Minister, what we proposed. Like our Indian Prime Minister discussed about 12-point formula. What were those 12 points? And apart from that, some other details about this meeting we will discuss. Apart from that, we will also go through the details regarding the ASEAN and why ASEAN is important to India and why India is important to ASEAN, and India-ASEAN relations, challenges facing by the India-ASEAN relations, and how we can overcome the challenges. That means what is the way forward regarding that. We will discuss about that, and finally we will discuss the conclusion. So this is the flow of this video. First, you have to know that students, we are discussing this because our Prime Minister attended the ASEAN summit. As a students, you have to know what is the ASEAN stands for. ASEAN stands for Association for Southeast Asian Nations. Okay, tell me students, how many member countries are there in ASEAN? Okay, anyhow, we will discuss now. So there are how many member countries in the ASEAN? There are 10 member countries in the ASEAN, students. Now, in this ASEAN meeting, our Prime Minister mainly emphasized on certain areas we will discuss. Okay, there are certain areas such as like ASEAN should be a platform where like global South problem should be expressed. I already explained what is the meaning of global South. I include that video link in cards. Please check. Okay, and our Prime Minister also emphasized the ASEAN mutual cooperation and the importance of ASEAN to India and the importance of India to ASEAN in the Indo-Pacific policy. And he also discussed about the common history, geography, which connects the India and ASEAN. Okay, so first let us see what are these member countries present in the ASEAN. Like I said earlier, there are 10 nations in ASEAN. Okay, from the east to west, if we come, Myanmar, number 1, Thailand, second one, and Cambodia, third one, Singapore, fourth one, then Laos, fifth, Vietnam, sixth, Indonesia, seventh, Malaysia, eighth, and Brunei, ninth, and Philippines, 10th. These are the 10 member countries. If these 10 member countries are added with 5 more countries, okay, these 10 member countries added with Japan, South Korea, China, Australia, New Zealand, then that grouping is known as RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. If you know why India did not join in the RCEP, give your answer in the comment section. Okay, now we'll see why it is in news. Honorable Prime Minister attended the ASEAN summit as well as the which summit? 20th ASEAN-India summit, as well as he attended the 18th East Asia summit. 18th East Asia summit and 20th India-ASEAN summit he attended. This meeting was held in Jakarta, Indonesia. It was held on 6th as well as 7th September 2023. Of course, India is seeing ASEAN as a very important for India's ocean perspectives. So that is the reason India placed ASEAN in a central role regarding its security and growth for all in the region. This is our India's vision in the maritime security, that is Sagar, security and growth for all in the region. Okay, in this meeting, our Prime Minister emphasized India's Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative, that is IPOI, as well as ASEAN's outlook on the Indo-Pacific, AOIP. Our Prime Minister was saying that these two interests, they are overlapping, so that India and ASEAN, we are having some common interest. We have to cooperate to each other. That is what our Prime Minister was emphasizing on. Then, in this meeting, our Prime Minister mainly focused on 12-point agenda. We are going to discuss about these 12 points. These things are going to be very particularly important in prelims point of view. They may ask you, which of the following statement is true or false, like that. Okay. So here we'll try to give emphasis on the keywords. The first one, our Prime Minister was emphasizing on the multimodal, like connectivity, maritime connectivity as well as economic connectivity among the South, East Asia, India and West Asia and Europe. This kind of connectivity he was focusing on. Second one is, our Prime Minister offered the India's digital infrastructure to ASEAN partners, because India is much advanced in terms of digital infrastructure, so India offered their help. Even India also announced the ASEAN-India Fund to develop the digital transformation, as well as the financial connectivity assistance. Financial connectivity in terms of what? In terms of like uniform payment interface, like this. Okay, we have this kind of uniform payment interface, and we would like to help to these Asian nations. And even India also announced that to renew the Economic and Research Institute of ASEAN and East Asia. This institute, which lost its prominence, now it is going to be revived again. Next, the fifth one, India called to resolve the issues being faced by Global South. Okay, whatever the issues facing by the Global South, they should be raised in the multi-fora platforms, and Asian countries also, we requested their support. We should collectively raise the Global South issues. Then India invited Asian countries to join the Global Center for Traditional Medicine. The center is being set up by WHO in India. India offering Asian countries to have partnership in this institute. Then India also called for the Mission Life, Asia's participation in the Mission Life. Actually, India is spearheading some of the global environmental programs. If you look at here, some of the global environment programs where India is playing very important role. They are, one is International Solar Alliance, next One Sun, One World, One Grid, and Coalition for Disaster Resistance Alliance, Coalition for Disaster Resilience Alliance or Institute, CDRI. Okay, you can call it as Coalition for Disaster Resilience Alliance Institute. And the LIFE program, LIFE mission LIFE. Okay, tell me students, one question to you. As a part of mission, how many people are going to be trained under Mission Life? Mission Life is all about empowering the people to lead the more environment sustainable life. So how many Indians are going to be trained as a part of the Mission Life? Okay, put your answer in the comments. Next, India even is offering its Jan Aushadhi Kendras kind of program in the Asian nations as well to provide affordable and quality medicines. Next, 9 to 12. India also called for the collective fight against terrorism, terror financing and cyber disinformation. Even regarding this terror financing, in the weekend class, in the weekend current affairs issues, I told you about the FATF, Financial Action Task Force. Next, India invited Asian countries to join with the Coalition for Disaster Resilience Infrastructure. Tell me students, where is the headquarter for the CDRI? Okay, in the previous year also I wrote CDRI, Coalition for Disaster Resilience Infrastructure, where is the headquarter? 11th one, India also sought the cooperation of the Asian countries in the disaster management and cooperation in the areas of maritime safety, maritime security and maritime domain awareness. These are the 12 points which are emphasized by our Prime Minister in the India-ASEAN Summit. You have to be very careful. Even India and Asian countries, we issued two joint statements. One is on the maritime cooperation, the other one is on the food security. These two joint statements were issued. In this India-ASEAN Summit, observer country is Timor-Leste. This is the observer country which attended this meeting. Next, what is the ASEAN? Now come to this point, the historical background of ASEAN. ASEAN is the regional organization which is there to discuss about the political as well as the social stability or social issues facing by the countries after the post-colonial era. whatever the problems they are facing in the Asia Pacific region. To discuss their problems, they established this group. This is known as ASEAN. ASEAN established in 1967 in the ASEAN Declaration, popularly known as Bangkok Declaration. Founding countries are Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Later, few more countries are added. The total strength of the ASEAN is 10. Okay. What is the motto of the ASEAN? One vision, one identity and one community. That is a vision. 8th August generally observes as ASEAN Day. ASEAN Secretariat, Indonesia and ASEAN member countries. Already we have seen the 10 member countries in the map pointing. Next. Fundamental principles of ASEAN. Okay. What are the fundamental principles? Fundamental principles of ASEAN are: number one, we have to mutually respect each other's sovereignty, independency, equality and integrity of the nations. The second one, every country has all the rights to have its own national existence without external interference or without external force. That means every country has its sovereign rights. Next, third one, non-interference in the internal affairs. That means one country should not involve in the internal affairs of the another country. Next one, differences should be settled in a very peaceful manner. And next one, here, so the threat should not be used by one country against another country. That means threat must be leave. And finally, there must be an effective cooperation among the members. These are some of the principles which will be followed by the ASEAN. Next, institutional mechanism of ASEAN. How the ASEAN works. ASEAN institutional mechanism is like: number one, the highest level is ASEAN Summit, where they discuss about all the regional issues as well as the policy related directions they will be used. Second one, ASEAN Coordinating Council, ACC. This will look after the implementing the ASEAN agreements as well as decisions. Whatever the decisions they take in the ASEAN Summit, that will be implemented by the ASEAN Coordinating Council. Next, ASEAN Secretariat. It will look after the day-to-day operations of the ASEAN. Secretariat generally is a place of officials and it is responsible for the day-to-day operations. Next, ASEAN Regional Forum. It talks about mainly the political and security related issues. Political and security related issues among the ASEAN members. Next one, decision making body. The decision making body, decision making process, it is always through consultation as well as consensus. Member countries, they have to accept about a particular decision, then only the decision will be arrived. These are some of the working mechanisms of the ASEAN. Next we'll see ASEAN and India engagement. How this organization as well as India are engaging in terms of trade, we will see. Okay, ASEAN and India, we are having summit level association since 2002. In 2012, India became strategic partner with the ASEAN. And the closeness between the India and ASEAN, we already discussed. India's Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative and ASEAN's outlook on the Indo-Pacific. These two are converging. And one more thing, this 2021, it celebrated the 30 years of friendship between the India and ASEAN countries. And the India-ASEAN relations in terms of trade, ASEAN is the fourth largest trading bloc, whereas for ASEAN, India is the seventh largest trading bloc. With ASEAN, we are having the trade deficit rather than the trade surplus. If you see, India-ASEAN trade is about $78.90 billion, whereas China-ASEAN trade is about the $274.50 billion. You can understand almost all. Compared with India, China is having almost all four times higher the trade, trade in terms of value. Regional connectivity. ASEAN and India, we are having regional connectivity in terms of India, Myanmar, Thailand, trilateral highway. It was asked in the, UPSC question, UPSC I think so previously, UPSC or, Telangana Group 1 exam. I was not sure this question was asked. And with ASEAN, even we are building this Kaladan multimodal transport project. This one also. In terms of defense, both are cooperating in ASEAN-India maritime exercise and ASEAN Defense Minister meeting plus. This is the defense related cooperation. Now we will see what are the challenges. First one is trade imbalance. Like I said earlier, we are having the trade deficit with Asia. We have to overcome that. And nature of engagement. Most of the times with these Asian countries, India is having the one-to-one interaction rather than interacting with the ASEAN completely. This is also one of the issue. Next, compared to ASEAN, our interaction with other organizations such as RCEP, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, as well as the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP). With these, for us, India's engagement is increasing compared to the ASEAN, so we have to step up our interaction with the ASEAN as well. Next, Chinese presence. Like I said earlier, the trade value. Along with the trade value, even in terms of security also, Chinese presence in the ASEAN is increasing. These are some of the issues. What is the way forward? Already we are having a Quad, you know that, okay? So we can invite the ASEAN member countries in Quad, so we can have a more close relationship in terms of security. Next, in the Indo-Pacific region, then majority of these Asian countries, they are having some issues with China, especially the South China Sea dispute, East China Sea dispute, so we can fill the gap where China is living. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is, by collaborating with ASEAN in international platforms as well as regional platforms such as UNO, East Asia Summit, ASEAN Regional Forum, India and ASEAN, we can jointly advocate for both interests and both objectives. Okay, this is the conclusion. Next, yesterday's video question. Which term is not used in the preamble of the Indian Constitution? Which one is not using? Federal. This word is not there in the Indian Constitution preamble. And today's video question. The term Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP) often appears in the news in the context of the affairs of a group of countries known as, okay, it related to what? Mains question. Act East policy can be only successful if apprehensions of the ASEAN nations are resolved. If we are able to resolve these countries' apprehensions, fears, then only our Act East policy will be succeeded. Discuss this with relevant examples. This is the today's video's question. As we reach to the end of this video, we'll quickly revise. In this video, we discussed about our Prime Minister attending the India-ASEAN as well as the East Asia Summit. And the 12 points discussed about our Prime Minister, we talked about. And we discussed about the background history of ASEAN and the working mechanism of ASEAN and working principles of the ASEAN, on which principles ASEAN is based on. And we also discussed about India-ASEAN cooperation, challenges faced by India-ASEAN, and what is the way forward. This is the detailed analysis regarding India's Prime Minister visit to India-ASEAN Summit.